everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Inside Perspective. My name's Aaliyah, and as always, I am here to create a space for us to reflect, connect, and grow. If you're tuning in on Spotify, please be sure to follow and hit the bell so you can catch new episodes. If you're watching on YouTube, same thing, different platform. Please subscribe, hit the bell, comment on episodes that you want to see in the future, or anything that you felt, you wanted to share in regard to the episode itself. So nevertheless, I'm glad you're here. So let's spend some time together. So my last episode on finances actually did really well. A lot of people resonated with it, had questions, reached out to me. And so it then made me think about how much our finances tie into like our mental health and our mental well-being. And so it led me to a question. When does treating yourself in terms of self-care turn into just overspending? Like, I'm all for, taking care of yourself, giving yourself a little extra pat on the back. But at what point does it just snowball into something that is out of your budget? Like, you can't afford the way that you try and treat yourself. And so if you can relate to that, we're going to get into talking about finding a balance that feels good to where you can spend money on yourself and it is self-care, but you don't have like that guilty feeling that comes afterwards. So let's go get into that. All right. So what is self-care versus overspending? Let's start with defining self-care itself. And so for me, the definition of self-care is doing anything, whether it's monetary or not, to refuel your body, to reward your body, to just give yourself a little extra love in that moment. Now, it can look different for everyone. Some people it's journaling. Some people it's going to a yoga class. Some people it's taking a walk. Some people it's dropping, a couple hundred, couple thousand shopping. It may or may not be me. Used to be me, at least. And that's what made me think about this, because self-care definitely can blur into overspending whenever it starts to becoming like impulsive or excessive, getting, a coffee or a tea from whether it's expensive at Starbucks or a mom and pop shop, $5 every day. After a while, like you spending almost $150 a month just on that. And my brain goes into, okay, I still love having my chai tea in the morning, but I'm not giving Starbucks $6.35 every morning to do so. So I went out and I bought my chai, bought a little chai thing. I think it's Yogi. Yeah, Yogi chai. Some oat milk, because I like me some oat milk. Your girl's lactose intolerant, and I don't need that cow milk on my stomach. And I started making it myself. And so then I seen how much it costs, right? So for me, it's still giving me that moment of self-care. It's also giving me a moment of connection too, because now I get to spend some time with myself in the morning, making my favorite drink. And so when I looked at the difference of me spending maybe $30 a month between oat milk, and the chai joint, it was like $30 compared to the $150 almost. And honestly, more than that, it was hitting around $200. I was getting Starbucks every day before work, and it was a drink and a little sandwich. I was getting me a little sandwich too. And so after a while, that was like getting to about 10, and then prices started going up, $13 a day. And I was doing that every day. So if we do $10 times 5, that's $50 a week. And it was $50 next week, $100. 2 more weeks after that, the month, that's $200. I was spending $200. I was giving Starbucks $200 a month. And so at that point in time, it made me think like, I don't want to make them rich. Like, I'm thinking about how I could have that money in my savings, how I could have put that money somewhere else in terms of just like upgrading my house, getting paint for the doors. I've been wanting to paint the doors in my bathroom. Like, there was just so many things where I was like, this is unnecessary and I don't need to be making Starbucks rich. I really don't. And because at the time, whenever I was going and getting, my drink and my sandwich in the morning, sometimes I wouldn't even finish my drink by the time I got to work or even finish my sandwich. And so I really had to start questioning myself at that point. It's just like, are you just going for the feeling of like going around Starbucks, going around the Starbucks line, having your little Starbucks cup, like your little bag with your sandwich in it? Like, is it a feeling you're chasing with doing that? Like, are you nurturing yourself, or are you like actually like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say playing mind games with yourself, but like in a way I kind of was, because it's just like after a while looking at my bank statement, I wasn't nurturing myself. I was numbing myself. And it was just leading me to a place of continuous overspending, because it was like, well, if I'm gonna leave the house, I can go get my drink and my this, and then I'll head to work, especially if there's those days where I didn't feel like going to work. I didn't want to go to work. Starbucks was the thing that kind of got me out the bed. But then I'm spending money that I'm not even finishing the drink or the food for. Or I finish it for lunch, barely having a lunch because I'm finishing my food. It was just this snowball, for me at least, that kept going and going and going, whether it was with my finances or even just with my emotional, mental health being. I'm just like, yo, this isn't translating. And I was like, and then now it's like, this isn't self-care. Now I'm actually making myself feel guilty, or like feeling bad for the fact that I went and got something that was supposed to be something to make me feel good, and now I'm not even finishing it. It's just sitting there. So it was like, okay, this isn't self care. This is me numbing myself. This is me trying to just get through with the fact that I don't want to go to work, but I gotta go to work. So has that ever happened to y'all though? Like you really just you keep doing something, and you're calling it something good. You're calling it something that you can benefit from, but really, all in all, you just numbing yourself to some sort of pain that you're not able to identify yet. And it may not even be pain. It may just be something not like the fact that I don't want to go to fucking work. Like I'm not a work queen. I do not want to give, because then my brain went to, okay, if I'm giving Starbucks $200 a day, I don't even want to go to work every day. And now I'm giving this company my business every day. So again, just a snowfall of negative thoughts, negative thinking, when really what I needed to do was get up, was spend more time with me. I was getting up last minute, so I didn't have enough time to make myself breakfast. So now I'm just running. As soon as I wake up, okay, get clothes, bag, lunch. Did I pack a lunch? Can I pack lunch? Is there food for lunch? No. Now I gotta spend money for breakfast and lunch. Now I gotta come home. Still ain't no food to eat. Like, it was just that I was just spending money, calling it like, oh, I deserve it. I don't think at the time when I first got my job, I didn't have a car note. I ain't had nothing. Like, I didn't pay a bill. Like when I first started getting like checks from work, I didn't have no bills. So for me, it didn't seem like a big deal to spend 200, 250 just on Starbucks a month alone. But before my bills started rolling in, something told me like this could get a little out of hand. Mostly just because I was looking at the bread. I was seeing where my money was going. Like, I'm sitting there, yeah, I ain't got no bills, but I look at my account, I'm like, dang, where's my shit? Well, if you think about it, if I'm eating out every day for breakfast, every day for lunch, that's almost $400, $450. I mean, the way I eat might hit 500, because I like cheesecake, and I like this spot out cranberry. What's it called? Damn, Firebirds. Yeah, I don't go to like no McDonald's or no Taco Bell for lunch. No, I'm going to get me a meal. I'm gonna get me some, because then I can't eat that for dinner. Like, it can roll over. And so that was my idea of making it okay, but I still was just spending an absurd amount of money and calling it self care. When that really wasn't it. Spending money is emotional. There's nobody that can change my mind on that. Spending money is emotional. It can be emotional. I think it's certainly emotional whenever you haven't learned money yet. When you don't understand how money can work for you, I feel like a lot of people just spend with emotion. They're in a good mood. They feeling good. Okay, yeah, here. We can go out. We can go spend, da da da. We can go to the bar. We could do this. Um, and it's like, okay, spending after a big accomplishment, like, yeah, like celebrate yourself. I don't want the problem to be around celebrating yourself, but it's like, mama, do you have the bread to spend that money? Like, do you have the money in order to do that? That's not going to put you in any type of financial sacrificial state. You know, some of us spend money whenever we're really stressed out and we're really tired. And it's like, you know what? I deserve this. I deserve this, and I'm going to give it to myself. Go off. Some of us spend money because we're lonely or we're bored, and we just want some shiny new object that's sitting in front of our face. Like for me, I can honestly, my mama throw you under the bus. My mom at least had like 4 new phones in 1 year at one point. And I remember my dad even being like, all right, you want to get a new phone every year, that's your business. You want to get a phone every 2 years, that's your business. But my mom at one point was getting a new phone every 3-4 months. And I remember even being as a kid, like, I thought we was rich. I'm like, if this lady moving like this, we must get bread. We got money. But as I got older and learned about monthly payments and interest rates, I realized it wasn't that we didn't have money. My mom was making unnecessary purchases. Now, what her feelings were in order to do that, that's her business. But from what I could see and how much money that it cost because of that, it just makes you really, my mom's spending habits is what made me very cognizant of like what I do and how I do it. And in a good and a bad way. Like my mom was definitely the person like, no, you deserve this. You've been working hard in school. You've been doing this. Basketball's going well for you. Like, yeah, you deserve this. And then there were other times where, she on her 4th phone for the year. And I'm like, do you deserve this? Like, I started like asking those questions back and inquiring about like, where's the motive for this purchase? Is this purchase necessary? Is this purchase needed? If it's a want, then you need to save for that want. You don't get to just go splurge and just spend a whole bunch of money. And I think the key to recognizing why you're spending, if it's out of like a genuine self care, or is it a quick fix for something deeper? Like, are we just feeling anxiety, feeling anger, feeling pain, and we don't want to feel that pain, so I'm going to go out and buy myself something nice? Babe, you're masking. You're not, that's not self-care. You're masking. And it's only a matter of time before all this starts to build, not only financially, but internally. That feeling that you're trying to run from or trying to escape, it's not going anywhere. You just putting a little happy layer on top of it, but eventually that shit's gonna slosh off, and you gotta figure out what's going on inside. Why is this purchase necessary? Is this a need or a want? If I need it, do I have it in my account? Can I afford it? Can I buy it twice? If you can't buy it twice, baby, you don't need to get it right now. And depending upon, and I use that back and forth, right? Because it really depends on what it is. But I think it's important to have like guilt-free purchases. I think it's really important to be able to spend money on yourself, know that you wanted it or needed it, deserved it, saved for it, and bought it. We can't just keep seeing stuff on social media, seeing what other people have, seeing how you want that, and you want it this time so that you can flex with it at this point in time. That's too much external validation that you're seeking. That, to me, insecurity. You're doing all this to have it to show the outside world what you got, what you built, what you bought, and you're broke. And I don't like to call people, because I was going to say you're also broken, but I don't like to call people broken because everybody has had their own journey. their own experiences that have brought them to where they are. And who am I to say somebody's broken? That's not my ministry. I leave that to the universe. I leave that to spirit. That's somebody else's, judge to walk somebody else through. But for the sake of the conversation, you do all this and now you still broke and you got a broken spirit. Now you spent all this money. You may not even gotten a reaction. Nobody might even peep your shit. You might also even forgot that you even bought it and it's just sitting somewhere. I know you're out there. I know I got some friends like that on this podcast. I know I got some people here that they'll get something that they needed to have so bad. They needed to have it. They needed to get it. And now you got it sitting on a shelf somewhere, sitting in the closet. Shit, it might still even be in the bag upstairs. Did you really need it? Or were you making that purchase to make yourself feel good for a second because you're just so damn unhappy? And instead of working through the feelings of that, instead of sitting with the feelings of that, you run. You run and you find the next best thing that makes you feel comfortable. Now, I always believe there's two sides to everything. And so I love to get me a nice little something new. This mic that I just got, I don't know if y'all can see it. This one's black. I used to have the blue one. I love this new mic. I wanted it when was it? I think I just got back from North Carolina when I wanted to buy a new mic. So that was August. And I was like, I want a new mic. I done dropped that shit a few times. My baby blue over here, I done dropped it a few times. It got some scratches on her. The sound don't even come across the same. I was starting to sound like I was Bane. Y'all know the movie off of Batman when Bane's like, oh, there's no drugs in here. Like, that's what I felt like I sounded like with this mic. And so, for one, it was an investment because podcasting is something that I'm passionate about. Sharing information, connecting, giving people the chance to reflect, connect, and grow. That's something that I love to do. And so, the mic wasn't a need. It was a want. Because that mic still works. Do I sound the best? No, but it works. But for me, I know that I'm going to save up money over the next few months because come December, as y'all see, I bought my shit. But yeah, I saved up money over time so that I could buy my new mic guilt-free instead of just rushing to get it because I wanted the feeling of not only sounding better on my episodes, but I got something new. I got a new mic. I love new technology. That is my judge. And that's the problem with having an expensive habits, expensive taste. When I get shit, I ain't getting nothing that's, under $50. It's rarely anything that I want is rarely under $50, except for my Lego sets, which, that comes and goes. Like these, my little happy, sad, and anxious, these was around 20 something, for the whole thing, I think, for 3 of these. And so I had to start finding different types of hobbies because it's this shit gonna add up, right? So I'm gonna share with you my tips that I go through, that I walk through whenever I'm about to make a new purchase, because I like guilt-free purchases. I don't want to buy no shit and then all of a sudden the next day I got this unsettling feeling in my stomach because I got the text from my bank talking about, X amount of money is left in the account, And I know I don't get paid for another 3 weeks. Because now that I'm back down to one job, I only get 1 check a month. I was getting 3, which was nice. But now I'm getting 1. So, gotta go back to the basics. And so the first thing that I do is I budget for self-care. I literally have a fun fund as one of my accounts. I know I talked about it last episode. I have a fun fund. So if there's anything that I want to go and do, that I want to go and pay for, if I want a massage, if I want to go get my hands and toes done, which I haven't done it in quite some time, so I probably should get into that. Mama, if you're listening, schedule our appointment. Just send me a text. Just let me know. But set out an amount that you want to save for the month, whether it's $50 or whether it's $500. Know that in that current month, you're not spending any money on your self-care. You are on a break because you are building. Be disciplined. Guilt-free purchases with money that you have. Spend cash over credit. Unless it's a very large purchase, then always use the bank's money. And I mean like thousands, like in the thousands. Use the bank's money. This way, you're actually treating yourself. You know that last month you saved up X amount of money, or if you need a couple months to save up that money. Now, whenever you go and do that thing, now whenever you spend money for whatever item that you might be wanting to get, whether it's a shopping haul at Sephora or Ulta, or you try and go get crazy in the Coach store, whatever it is, you've now saved the money and you have it in a fund that's building over time. Now you can take from that money and go have fun. Now you don't have to think, oh, money for that was supposed to be part of my money for my groceries, or that was part of my money for my rent, that was part of my money for my gas for my car. It is completely separate from all your other responsibilities, and it gets filled last for me. Like it does, like, because your fun that's a want. I say it's a 50-50 want and need, because you need fun in your life. You can't just not have fun. Like, you need fun in your life. And so as long as all your other shit is filled first, you know, your rent account, your house account, your car account, your loan account, and you paid yourself in your savings, if all that's taken care of, Bookie, go have some fun. But just plan for it, okay? So that's the first one. The second one is something I always like to do too. I take a second because I get excited, and whenever I see something, I go and get it. Like, that was my old behavior. As soon as I see it, don't take me to the Lego store. I might drop 500. Like, I just love them. I love the way that I can spend time with myself. Like, that's my idea of, like, you know, a form of self-care. But there's times where I need to reflect on, is this purchase necessary now? I can't put together 5 Lego sets in one setting. I can only do one at a time. I could only complete one at a time. I started this yesterday, and I'm so excited. My bestie got it for me. It's the gauntlet from Xfinity Wars. But it's the one, you know, for Tony Stark. And it's like, I started this last night, bitch. I spent like, I think almost an hour and a half just getting here. So like, I had to give myself a second to be like, okay, do I need this now? Do I want this now? Could I wait? It then was giving me the discipline to know how to move when it came to just my money and my wants and my needs. Like, I had to ask myself, do I want to be an impulsive purchaser? Do I want to be excessive in my spending? And the answer to that was no. I want to have a fat ass savings account. And that's not my retirement or my other long-term savings account. Like, this is a savings account so that, again, if I want to go to Bali next year, I already got an international trip this year. I'm so excited. I'm going to Kenya. I'm going to Africa. So I'm saving money continuously, always. And of course now, yeah, I'm saving it because I know I'm going, you know, out the country this year. But it's also, if I didn't have a big trip plan, I'm still putting money aside into my savings. And we're going to jump into the third, but like it's connected, but it's not. But the third thing has always been, I focus on experiences more than just like an object. So if I can spend, you know, $125 on a mic, cool, right? I'm going to use it. It's going to be fun. But if I could spend $125 and go to like a pottery class, like I just did with my baby over New Year's, like, I like to prioritize experiences over a product because I feel like I get more out of it. And not only do I get the chance to just build the pottery wheel, like I made like me a nice little chalice. It's like a cup. Maybe I'll, you know, throw a little picture of it in here. But I was able to go and create something, meet someone new, try something different. Those experiences hit harder for me than just my mic sitting next to my other mic, my other broke mic, which I need to go recycle. But You know what I mean? Like, it's not a bad thing that I went and got this mic, and I don't want that to be like the message that you're getting from it, but it really is like sometimes whenever you're making your purchases, try to prioritize experiences over products. You get more from an experience than you do than just a product. But for me, I feel like in this analogy, my mic really isn't the best one because I get to connect with y'all through this. Now could I just record it on my phone? Yeah. Would I sound as sharp in your ear, in your car, out your phone? Maybe not. But ultimately, I just know that whenever it comes down to, purchasing experiences over products, they feel a bit better inside, especially if you're still struggling with impulsively or excessively spending money on products. Products like, clothes, shoes, um, your shit y'all spend your money on. I don't spend my money on clothes and shoes. I really don't. A lot of my money goes towards creating things, being a creative, because I'm realizing that's who I am at the end of the day. Like, I went to school for science, biology, minored in Black Studies, was on the way to medical school, and something just kind of hit me whenever I was studying for the MCAT, and I just was like, this shit really not that fun for me. But what I was having fun with is every time that I learned something new while I was studying, I would immediately go to Snapchat and tell my friends. Like, y'all, did you know when it came to IR spectroscopy? They would have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. But the way in which I was able to explain it and connect it, I had friends that wasn't even science majors. Like, bro, that makes sense. Bro, that hit for me. And I'm like, this is what I like. This is what I like to do. And so that was a little tangent. But I say that to say, you can still purchase your products, but just make sure you have money saved up for them. Saved up for your wants. Make sure your needs are taken care of, but save up for that fun so you can get your wants. So you can figure out, is it the product that you prefer over the experience? That's your business, that's your journey. But I'm saying, for me, I would encourage you to go for the experience because it'll be worth so much more. So much more. And the fourth and final one is, sorry, I had something in my nose. The fourth and final one is noticing or recognizing, picking up on your red flags. Talking about you, Buki. Do you notice any spending spikes that happen? Whenever you go to buy something, were you anxious before? Were you angry before? Like, why are you making this purchase? What are you really trying to soothe through this purchase? Like, you gotta pick up on your red flags too. You can't just point out everybody else's, because you got them too. Yes, you do, Buki. Sometimes you gotta ask yourself, do I need this purchase or do I need to cry? I know we just took a sharp turn, but it's the truth. Do you need to go buy this new Coach bag, Louis bag? Like, do you need to go and do this? Or do you need a hug? Do you need to work out? Do you just need to hit a dead sprint? You just got some extra energy in you that you need to get rid of. You gotta pause and reflect and ask yourself. It's like almost how number 2 just jumps right back into number 4. All of them pretty much connect in some way, shape, or form, but I like to break things down. Maybe what you need sometime isn't the purchase. Maybe you need to sit in solitude and write down what you're feeling inside your body, because your body's trying to talk to you. It's desperately trying to talk to you, to get you to recognize them, to pay attention to them. But you go out and get Starbucks. That's not what it wanted. That's not what it wanted. That was a little moment of you trying to make yourself feel better and calling it self-care. It could work in a moment, but how long until it turns into overspending? How long are you going to ignore what's going on inside by trying to silence it with external shit that it really doesn't give a fuck about? How long are you going to allow yourself to suffer in silence and use external validation to make yourself feel better? I have this podcast for several reasons. Yes, to connect, reflect, and grow. Yes, yes. But to really create a space for you as a listener to really think, like, what am I doing? How am I moving? How am I supporting myself? Am I showing up for me, or am I showing up for the idea of what I think I need? Challenge yourself. Recognize your red flags, because we all got them. We all have them. Just try to get them to like orange, yellow before we get them to green. All right, friends. So here's my challenge for you this week. Make a fun fund. Figure out how much money you need in it, how long it may take you to get there, and start saving. Decide on what a limit feels right for you for that week. If you feel comfortable that you can spend $50 a week, use it wisely, bitch. Because as soon as you hit over 51, you lost the challenge. You lost. Or whatever your limit is. If you go over that by a penny, I don't even care if it's by a penny. The goal is to build discipline and also save your pockets. We not rich yet. We comfortable. We got our shit in order, but we not rich yet. We not wealthy. We rich in a lot of other things. And I said it in my post the other day. I'm rich in knowledge. I'm rich in love. I'm rich in safety. My bread look nice, but it could be better. And so that's why I'm giving myself these challenges, because that's not why I'm giving me these challenges. That's why I'm giving you these challenges, because I've been through the point of where I was giving Starbucks $200 a month for 6 months. Think about spending $1,200 at Starbucks over spending 6 months. That could be mine. That's all I thought about. And it was mine. But I gave it away in the name of self-care, but it really was overspending. And so when you do treat yourself, think about how it feels. Is it bringing joy? Is it bringing peace? What is it bringing up for you in your body? But if you're spending and then after you make that purchase and you're feeling a little unsure, mark that down. It's something to be mindful of. Because then you could think next week with your self-care budget, what if you did something else with that money? How did that make you feel? All of this is trial and error. Life itself is about trial and error, and there are certain moments to where it's fucking game time. And you take all those moments from your trial and error and you add it into that moment. And you show up with what you got. And you learn with what you learn what you might have needed more. You want to get to a point to where the decisions that you're making are truly in your best benefit. The benefit of your current self and your future self. You don't want it to just be for the moment. And I'm going to leave that to you to decide when those moments are and how much money you want to spend on it. I just want to make sure that it truly serves you. Because you deserve to do things that truly serves you in your best interest. Thank you so much for turning into this episode of The Inside Perspective. Financially, self-care, or overspending? What are we doing here? I hope that this conversation help you find, that happy medium, that sweet spot of self-care or overspending itself. If you found this helpful, please share it to somebody. Send it to somebody. Send it to your mama if she needs to see it. I talked about my mama in here. Maybe you need to send your mama a subliminal message. Let me do that. Send it to a friend. Or tag me on social media once I start getting, my posts and stuff up there. And just let me know your self-care budgeting stories or nightmares. I'd love to hear anything about that. And I'd love to hear anything more about what you're applying to your life. What those things look like for you, and if there's anything that I can learn from you, that I can share, amongst the group. So I'm happy. I'm feeling good also because we hit over 100 subscribers on YouTube, man. I haven't, I don't want to say I haven't been as consistent because the reason why I haven't been, I've been sick, I'm in this, I'm in that, but sometimes it feels like excuses. So I'm proud of myself for getting to where I'm at with what I've been doing, and I'm excited for how far I will go with what I plan to do. So next week, we are diving deeper into boundaries because you know how much I love to teach y'all how to tell people no. Because we got energy vampires out here and people that just love to benefit off the fact that you have no boundaries. And I don't like that for y'all. And it makes me mad for the people that take advantage of you because I be wanting to rock their shit, but then I be wanting to rock your shit because if you're not paying attention to the fact that they are energy vampires and you still don't know how to say no, then what the fuck is the point? Anywho's, that'll be on next week's episode. Yep. I appreciate y'all spending some time with me. Don't miss it because it'll be out. I don't want to say next week because y'all know how I get down. But until then, miss me the way that I'll miss you. And remember, self-care doesn't have to break the bank. It just has to come from your heart. Until next time, y'all, go drink some water and stretch. My hamstring's so damn tight, it's honestly getting a little ridiculous. So